Hey, today I want to talk about half-life. Now, those of you that actually care and show a little empathy and passion, yes, I'm still bleeding on my forehead. Thanks. Now, I keep getting texts. Can you guys see these as they pop up on my phone? I sure hope not. Mr. Spencer will probably send me a perverted one, and you guys will all see it and then realize that that old man... No, he's good. He's clean. He's absolutely clean. He's the nicest man alive. I made that part up. All right. So if you're playing the home version right now, title your notes, Half-Life. Okay? Half-Life. Now, plutonium, okay? 239. That's called weapons-grade plutonium. Ooh, it's dangerous. What it means, remember this is transuranium. It doesn't actually exist naturally on Earth. We made it. We, you, I, somebody. So it's radioactive. So that means it's just sitting there, and there's too many things in its nucleus. So all of a sudden, out of the blue, this little particle, which is an alpha, goes flying out. Pew! And now, it's no longer plutonium. It's now uranium. All right? It's now uranium. So let's pretend that I had 20 grams of plutonium. Realize that is millions and billions and trillions and zillions and gillions and lots and lots and lots and lots of atoms. Lots of them. Okay? And you wait some time. So 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a clock. Okay? And we wait some time. And we wait. And while we're waiting, some of these plutoniums are giving off these little alphas like pew, 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 pew. All right? And they're giving off these alpha, and some of that plutonium is no longer there. It has turned into uranium. Some of it's still plutonium. It hasn't given off its little, it hasn't gone pew. So after we wait long enough, let's say we wait a while, and now half of it is still plutonium. And if you're playing the home version, the other half is uranium. This is plutonium, this is uranium. See how it changed? It transformed? Okay? That right there is an example of half-life. Okay? The amount of time it took for half of that junk to change into something else. That's what we're going to talk about. All right? So half-life. Its symbol is a lowercase t and a little 1/2. Okay? And half-life is the time it takes for 1/2. Doesn't matter how much you start with. You start with 1,000,000 grams. Then when you get to 500,000, that'll be a half-life. If you start with 10 grams, when you get to 5 grams, that's one half-life. Okay, so no matter how much you start with, once you get to half that, that's a half-life. Okay, so the time it takes for 1/2 of the parent nuclide, in this case, in my example today, plutonium. Okay, the amount of time it takes for 1/2 of the parent nuclide to decay, which means change into something else. All right, so an example, like up there. So if we start with 20 grams, if we wait however much time it takes, I don't know exactly on this one. They do know the times. They know the half-lives for various things. After one half-life, there'd be 10 grams. Okay, so we'd have to wait some amount of time, and right there is one half-life. If we wait until there is 5 grams left, it has now undergone 2 half-lives. 2.5 would be 3. 1.25 would be 4. I mean, I could go on and on and on, so forth. okay? No matter what the substance, rule of thumb, if anything's gone through 10 half-lives, would it be half-lives or half-lives? Who cares? It ain't language arts, okay? It ain't language arts. Once you've gone through 10, we say something is basically gone, done, dead, and it no longer exists. Now, that doesn't mean the stuff is completely gone. It's just transformed or changed itself into something else. So now I would say all the plutonium is gone and it's turned into uranium. Okay, 10 half-lives. Now, I'll be honest with you, there is a nasty formula out there that has natural log in it that does half-life, okay? You had to have been through Algebra 2 to basically deal with it, and we're not teaching it, okay? That is AP Chem. Mr. Spencer, next year, if you have him next year, he will teach you the true half-life formula. But I need to get you somewhat prepared, and you're not all going to take AP Chem, I understand that. Now, I'm going to throw out just some random stuff. Fluorine-21. Okay, you go, I don't even know what that is. It doesn't matter. Fluorine-21 has a half-life of 5 seconds. Okay? So no matter how much you start with, in 5 seconds, there's only going to be half left. All right? Fluorine-21's weird. Strontium-90, that's the one we said that gets in your bones and stays there and can cause damage to you and I. Its half-life is 29 years. Americium-241 has a half-life of 432 years. Holy snikes, that's a long time. That's only for half of it to disappear. Okay, you probably noticed the trend here. I'm going up. You don't have to know these by heart. I'm just giving you some. Okay, here's where a lot of people are nervous. We have lots of plutonium-239. It was considered weapons grade. We had from nuclear reactors, bombs. We have some of it, okay? The problem with it, its half-life is about 24,000 years. So it's always radioactive. And what do we do with it? You know, some people wait for it to go through its half-life. I'm sorry, you and I are going to be dead by the time it goes through one half-life. That means only half of it's gone. Okay? Uranium-235. Okay? Another one that we have quite a bit of. Its half-life, I think it's going to be hanging around for a while. I really, really believe it's going to be around for a long, long time. Now, you could go on to Google and you can look up a ton of different isotopes. Okay, that means it's the same element, just weighs more or less. And they have a variety of half-lives available. Okay? Now, remember, no matter how much you start with, let's say you start with, oh, is that my example? I don't care, just to start you with number 1 gram. After one half-life, you'll have half of it. You'll have a quarter of it. An eighth of it, so that's 1 half-life. 2 half-lives. 3. A 16th. A 32nd. Can you keep going? A 64th. 128. 256. Are you ready? You have 1 5/12. I don't even know how to say that right. How many have I gone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes 9. 1 over what? 1,024. That's not very much. 1/1000th of a 21. I can't even say it. Basically, we say you're done. That's so small, we say forget about it. Okay? All right, here's how this works. 3 simple example problems. 3. We're done. The homework only has 2 problems. Okay, example number 1. The homework is going to be a lot like the example, so make sure you write this down. I want to use fluorine-21, okay? I already told you its half-life is 5 seconds. Okay, actually for SIGs, let's make it 5 seconds, 3 SIGs. If we start with 100 grams of it, Notice the decimal, 3 sigs. I want to know how much remains after 25 seconds. How many grams? Okay, watch this. 25 seconds have gone by. Tick, 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 tick. I know that the half-life is 5 seconds. So I want to know how many times does 25 divided by 5. Okay? I want to know how many times 5 goes into 25, which is obviously 5 times. So that means it's gone through 5 half-lives. 5 of them. So here's how this works. How many grams did we start with? We start with 100. Okay? After 1 half-life. 1. How much is left? Well, 100. Half of 100 is 50. That's 1 half-life. Remember, we got to go through 5 of them. I call these booping it. I need to boop it 5 times. Boop it 5 times. That's 1 half-life. Notice it says 5 of them. Oops. I'm trying to be color coordinated, and then I realize I'm using Hanford colors. Now there's 25 grams. We've gone 2 half-lives. Now some people think, oh, if I start with 100, I only have 25 left. Only 25 of it is fluorine 21. That means 75 of it has turned into something else. And you're going to go, what does it turn into? I don't care. I don't care if it's alpha decay, beta decay. Who cares? Realize we still have 100 grams. Only 25 of it's our fluorine. So then we boop it again. Remember, I got to boop it. 3, 4, 5. And all I do is pull out a calculator. Half of 25 is 12.5. Half of 12.5 is 6.25. Half of 6.25 is 3.125. That's it. I just took a calculator and just went cut, 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 cut. There's my answer. Okay, according to SIGs, that's 3. 3, that's 2. So my answer would be 3.1 grams of fluorine 21 are left after 25 seconds. Okay? Example 1, done. Example 2. Example 2. Example 2. This time we're going to use iodine 131. Okay? I looked it up. Its half-life, oops, lowercase, is 8 days. Okay? 8 days. 32 days have gone by. So 1 month has basically occurred. Okay? This one's a little weird. What fraction remains? I want a fraction. Watch how easy this is. Somebody go, I don't know how many we had. Just relax. 32 days have occurred. We know the half-life is 8 days. So 4 half-lives have occurred. 4. That means I got to boom it 4 times. Boom it 4 times. Well, I don't even know what number to start with. Well, if they want a fraction, just do this. When they talk about a fraction, just start with the number 1. Okay? I want to boop it 4 times. Once. Twice. 3 times a lady, that's a song. 4. Well, if you start with 1, after 1 half-life, you'll have a half of it. That's the fraction. What's half of a half? I know, fractions. Miss Fitch, I hate fractions. A quarter. Just double the bottom number. An eighth. Just double the bottom number. That's your answer. There'll be 1/16. I don't care how much there was to begin with. There'll be 1/16 of it left. Okay, that's example 2. Last one, example 3, and we're done, homies. I was out working today. I don't know if you guys realize I have a side business doing lawn care and stuff. And I was out mowing and doing my thing, and I realized social distancing doesn't mean anything to me because that's how I live my normal life. Normally in the spring, I'm always out working by myself mowing, so I was out doing it. Realized how pathetic is my life. It hasn't changed one bit. You feel bad for me? Got a cut on my head. Pathetic life. Iron 55. Don't know its half-life. I'm lying. I actually do. Okay? We're going to start with 500 grams. Okay? After 15 years, after 15 years, 15.63 grams remain. What's the half-life? Okay. So, similar style. We know we start with 500 grams. And check it out. I know I end with that. And you're going, well, how? Remember, half-life, you always take half of your original. So half of 500 is 250. Is that the same number? Heck no. So keep going. Half of 250 is 125. Is that it? Nope. Keep going. Half of 125 is 62.5. Is that it? Nope. Keep going. Half of 62.5 is like 31.25. Is that it? Nope. Keep going. 15.62. Ding, 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 ding. There it is. Well, how many half-lives was that? That was 1, 2, 3, 4. It took five half-lives. And how long did it take to do that whole thing? It says that right there, 15 years. And it was 5 half-lives, so go 15 years, 5 half-lives. Its half-life is 3 years. T1 half equals 3 years. And if I go back and look at my SIGs, 3, 3, 4. So I'm allowed 3, so it'd actually be 3.00 years. Okay? Now, I would like you, first of all, you've already graded your quiz. You've entered your score on Canvas. Remember, it's participation. Tonight's homework, or today's homework, I'd like you to try. I kept it very simple. I just 2 problems. It's titled, I Am Old. Okay, it's just 1 and 2. They're handwritten. That's it. Should take you 3 minutes if you actually copied the notes down. Okay? Talk to you later. Peace.